May I see your invitation, please?
Sure. Here's my invitation.
Garcia, Adrian Granados press conference. Today we're here at the Palms, downtown LA. If you've never eaten at the Palms in downtown LA, the filet, this is a classy steak joint. I don't want to say schwanky, but it's pretty schwanky. It's got a pretty cool Hollywood vibe to it. When you walk around, it's full of nostalgia and really cool gangsterish, cartoonish type stuff. It brings you back to an old era.
As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
Like an old school boxing era. This is a great place to have a press conference, one of my favorite places. As we have them here commonly, all the promoters use this joint because it's schwanky. That's right, I use that word. Adrian Granados talking to Danny Garcia, Garcia talking back to him. Both of them obviously want to win this fight. Looks like it's going to be good so far. This is a styles make fights type matchup. One that is probably going to deliver just based on the two styles and based on the attitudes and mentalities of these fighters. Oftentimes we think styles make matchups, but the attitudes and mentalities of the fighters also have to match that profile. Plus, the fight's taking place in Dignity Health Sports Park, which we all know as the StubHub Center here in LA. It's going to be in April. Should be a glorious day. Probably be a tailgate out in front of that fight. I'm assuming that there's probably it's going to be on Fox. Make sure that we catch you there. Got another event right after this one. We're shooting across town in Norwalk. Legends Boxing Gym. Ryan Garcia is going to have his media workout today. We'll see you there.
Yeah, no, definitely. I believe I'm going to have a lot of support. You know, I represent the Mexican people. Estoy bien orgulloso de mis raíces. Viva Nuevo León, viva Coahuila, viva Sinaloa. Yeah, no, definitely, you know, I'm looking forward to fighting in Cali. I fought out here a couple times, and it's definitely a great crowd all the time. And definitely I'm going to come with all the Mexicanada to show my roots. Definitely represent for Chicago, though, as well.
You just had a huge fight out in Dallas last week. You win this fight, it puts you in a really good position to maybe pick up a fight with Spence, Pacquiao, Thurman sweepstakes, Porter sweepstakes. There's a lot of good stuff out there. What do you think a win for this fight does for you?
Yeah, this is a win that I need. You know, I've been definitely respected and recognized in the boxing game, but I need a big win to, you know, really solidify that I belong here, and that's what I'm definitely looking to do.
You've kind of been that guy that goes in, you give people really good fights, you've got them losing in or some close decisions. Do you think that there's a possibility that Garcia might sleep on you because of that?
You know, I hope he does. I mean, because definitely that's going to be a big mistake on his part. I don't think he will, though. I think, you know, he's kind of realized now that he is in for a fight. You know, maybe he didn't know me before, but now he does. You know, definitely, you know, I'm out to get my respect for this fight. You know, he's kind of bashed my name multiple times in the media, and, you know, he doesn't even know me. Like, you know, so definitely April 20th, I'm going to show him a piece of my mind.
You know, I plan on making the fight my fight. I'm not going in there to fight his fight. You know, if that's what he wants to do, then he go try what he wants to do. But I feel like I'm on a different level than him. I've been in big fights before. I faced fighters like him before. You know, Mexican-American type fighters who just come forward. You know, he's not the fastest fighter, he's not the strongest fighter, but he's definitely one of the toughest fighters. So that's what I'm preparing for. Mentally and physically, I'm prepared for whatever, and that's how I train for all my opponents.
How are you liking the back and forth right now with the?
No, it's cool. It's all fun and games. You know, it's all fun and games. It's part of the promotion, but I'm gonna be ready, man. I'm gonna be ready. It's gonna be nothing funny about April 20th.
What do you have to do April 20th to make a statement in the welterweight division? Obviously, Earl Spence is maybe this weekend. You know, Sean the weekend before.
I gotta go in there. I gotta do what no one else did to him. I gotta stop him. I think if I stop him, definitely a statement because nobody else stopped him. And I feel like I got the perfect style to stop him. He's never been in there with a two-fisted, hard-headed counter puncher like me. I'm definitely the strongest guy he's ever faced. So I'm definitely gonna make that. I'm definitely gonna showcase that fight night.
And my last question, just what did you think about Earl's performance against Mikey Garcia?
I thought it was a good performance. Like I said before, that's what I thought was gonna happen. The bigger guy beat the smaller guy, and it was good. It was good. It's good for him.
Danny, you called him one of the toughest fighters. What makes him one of the toughest fighters?
He's been in tough fights. He has a big heart. He's hungry, and that's what you gotta watch. That's what you gotta watch out for. These are the guys you gotta stay on top of your game for. Sometimes the big names ain't really the hardest fights. It's the ones that you sleep on. So these are the type of fights you gotta make sure that you train hard and you wake up for this fight like you wake up for any other fight.
In terms of challenges, what challenges does he create for you?
Like I said before, he's hungry. He wants to win. That's probably the biggest fight of his career. It is the biggest fight of his career. And I just got to make sure I go in there and handle business.
He called himself the B side. I mean, he admitted it. Obviously, you're the A side. What do you have to show to prove that?
You know, at the end of the day, I don't know nothing about A side and B side. At the end of the day, it's a fight, and it's the Danny Garcia show. So that's what it's all about. And I train hard every day. I don't worry about politics, and my job is to go in there and handle business, and that's what I'm gonna do.
Say you walk out of there April 20th with your arm raised. What do you want after that?
Like I said before, about the biggest fights, I want either a rematch with Porter Thurman, you know, a Pacquiao fight, a Spence fight, or even a Mikey Garcia fight. I think all those fights make sense for me.
Now, your last fight was against Sean Porter. How would you rate his performance against Ugas, and who won in yours?
It was a good fight. Like I said before, they both busted each other up a little bit. It was a good fight. A fight that could have went either way.
What about Thurman's last performance against Osasito?
He did good for being 2 years off in the ring. He got hurt a little bit. He was buzzed a little bit, but he finished the fight and did the thing, I guess.
Did that show you anything? Was it just you kind of put him more on the layoff, or Osasito was a great opponent? Maybe, I mean, what do you put it?
Osasito was ready. Osasito is known for upsetting people. That's what he's been doing his whole career, is upsetting people. So he came to fight and gave Thurman a run for his money.
There's been fights like the Mauricio Herrera fight in your career where maybe you didn't look as good as you wanted to. I guess, how do you prepare or what do you do to make sure that this Granados fight isn't, you know, a lapse in performance?
Yeah, definitely.
Like that?
I mean, when you're a young champion, in your career, it's not always easy to go out there every time and look great. You know, especially coming off big fights with Batista and Amir Khan. I trained for the fight. I trained hard, but you know, it's just one of them nights where it's just hard. You know, you just didn't look your best, but you still win at the end of the day.
Every night that you come out, you're not gonna be able to perform your best. It's always about getting that W and being able to learn from your mistakes and move on. Danny Garcia is one of the best welterweights out there, and he's proven that. Again, coming off of the blemishes that have been on his record, they're arguably debatable decisions. And in my personal opinion, I thought that he won both of those fights. I thought that he did enough to get the job done, so what are we talking about? Danny Garcia is one of the main guys, if not the guy, in the welterweight division, and come April the 20th, he's looking to go out there and make a big statement, and as he said earlier, a stoppage win over Adrian Granados sends a big message to all the other welters out there. And Danny wants all that work.
Speaking of the welterweight division, Leonard and then Danny, we're kind of in a new era where you got Danny, Keith, Sean, Spence, and Bud, and that's a large crop of fighters that could potentially face
hottest division out there in boxing.
How long do you think this group lasts on the top of the network and stuff like that? What type of impact for the future do you think that has?
I mean, I don't think it'd just be welterweight, because a lot of guys are probably going to grow out the welterweight division. So a lot of guys who don't fight at 147 might wind up fighting at 154. So I think this is going to be. I think you're going to see a lot of these guys, depending on how hungry they are, you know, for the next 5-6 years around in the sport. I know I'm going to be here. I ain't going nowhere.
Danny, you mentioned Amir Khan. He's fighting the odd man out in Terrence Crawford. How do you see that fight playing out, Amir Khan versus Crawford?
You know, at the end of the day, April 20th, there's only one show to watch. That's right. It's the Danny Garcia show, baby. I ain't worried about no other show. The Danny Garcia show on Fox. the only show in the world to watch. It's gonna be the fight of the night, the talk of the night. Danny Garcia.
And it's
free TV.
Right, there you go.
And it's free TV. I'm on my own platform, on Fox TV. I'm not worried about nobody else, man. It's the Danny Garcia show.
How would you have fought Errol Spence Saturday night, given his game plan that you saw?
You know, I think Mikey fought a good fight. You know, I just throw a little more. You know, he just wasn't strong enough. You know, he didn't have enough energy to hold him off. But definitely just fight. He did a lot of good things. Just let my hands go a little more.
Now, Keith Thurman said when he fought you, you were the epitome of a counter puncher. He said he would square up with you and you would literally wait for him to throw a punch and you would counter him. Have you worked on camp, taking the lead in your fights?
Yeah, definitely. I'm a pressure fighter. I walk forward. I'll walk you down. But I noticed that he was wide with his punches. So I was just waiting for him to make a mistake and making him pay.
Danny, you're fighting in April. Do you feel with the win April 20th that we will see you and Sean, you and Keith, you and Earl, one of basically or two of you guys together by the end of the year?
That's the goal, big fights. So just gotta make sure that April 20th I handle business. And then whatever comes to the table, then we're ready for it.
I was gonna say, what name? I mean, you're in the driver's seat. I mean,
yeah.
Who are you? I want this person next.
I mean, I wanted them right away, but you know it don't work like that. So I just gotta let everything take its place, and it's all about timing. So
and in this particular case, you can't get to that unless you take care of this. And he's fighting a tough ass guy on April the 20th that he's got to be fully dialed in to do that. And I'm convinced that he's gonna go in there and take care of his business because again, Danny's an elite fighter.